Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Yogini Steph channel. My name is Yogini Steph. I hope you are doing well today. So today we are going to be doing a full chakra reset in our yin yoga. So grab a pillow if you like, grab a blanket, yoga strap, or if you don't have a yoga strap, you can grab a tea towel and maybe a block or two, up to you. So let's begin. Taking a few breaths here. Settling in, settling your energy. I'm going to come into our first pose now, our squat pose. So it's a bit strong on the ankles, a bit strong on the heels. So if you've got a blanket to spare, if you find that your heels are off the floor, you can always rest your heels on a blanket. That might be nice. Or maybe widen the legs, toes facing a bit more outwards. Nice and long in our spine. You can always rearrange your hands. So it can be hands to prayer, palms facing down, palms together facing up to you. We just engage in our pelvic floor, holding here. And if it's a bit too much for you to start with, you can always grab a block and rest yourself on a block, still feeling that engagement. Feel free to close the eyes or take a soft gaze to the floor, finding softness in your jaw, your neck, not tensing your toes. Not straining our knees. And after a few breaths, if you're sitting on the block, maybe removing the block. So we've got our Goldilocks stretch going on. Not too little, not too much, just enough. So we've got that nice engagement. Few more breaths. Lovely. And releasing your hands to the floor. Legs out nice and long. Giving those legs a nice little shake. Nice little pat. Just working out those hips. Lovely. Okay. We're going to come into our cow face pose. So we're going to start stacking our knees, right knee on top, left knee underneath. If this is too much for you, you can always extend that opposite leg, relaxing your ankles. Feel free to sit on a blanket, or if you feel your knees are a bit up high, you can always rest a blanket under your knees, or maybe resting a block under your knees, and after a few breaths, removing the block. This is when you can grab your yoga strap as well. So we're going to go left arm up and overhead, right arm behind us. So we're opening up our chest. And if your hands can't touch, or it's too much of a strain, you can always use our yoga strap. Opening up your chest. I'm going to be holding here for a little while, so not forcing yourself into the pose. Shouldn't be feeling any aches or sharp shooting pains, or tingling sensations, or burning sensations. Be feeling that engagement. Drawing your belly button in and up. And if you're not able to touch your hands like this, after a few breaths, maybe walking your hands closer together using your yoga strap. Maybe you're good where you are. Maybe if you want to take it into a deeper stretch and you're holding your fingers together, you can always bring it forward. Just being very aware of your shoulders, your arms, your hips, your entire body. Few more breaths. And release, let go. Shaking those shoulders out. Give it a nice little roll. And switching legs. You can do your fancy twirl or just switching legs, one knee on top of the other. Again, getting nice and cozy. If stacking the knees is a bit too much, again, you can extend the opposite foot. Depends on how your hips are built. Again, feel free to use your strap. I can touch hands with this one, but I'm going to use my strap because my shoulders this morning aren't that great. So, okay, holding on to our strap. Bringing that right elbow back, lifting ourselves up nice and tall. And just being very aware. Again, if you can comfortably hold on to your hands and we're not scrunching, we're nice and open, you can always bring it forwards after a few breaths. Not forcing your body into doing anything it can't do or doesn't want to do this morning. Finding your Goldilocks stretch. Relaxing your glutes, finding softness. Few more breaths. And releasing your arms, removing your strap or your tea-towel, whatever you're holding on to, shaking out those shoulders. Maybe giving it a nice little roll, unraveling your legs, giving your legs a nice little shake. A little pat. Very sweet. Lovely. Okay, let's come into our bridge pose now. Maybe you'd like to keep your blankets underneath your shoulders if you like. I'm going to grab a block, or if you've got a thick book, hardback cover book, feel free. So coming on to our back, soles of the feet to the floor, feet hip distance apart. Pressing into your feet, lifting those hips all the way up and just resting your block on the pelvis. Or resting your pelvis on the block, not too far up or too far down. Lovely. And once you're there, try starting keeping it on the smallest level of the block, not on the edges of the block. Just surrendering yourself to the earth, maybe gazing up to the sky. Maybe you want to stretch those legs out nice and long. That might feel good for you today. And if you'd like to open up your heart and open up your lungs, maybe bring those arms up and overhead, just depending on your back. If it doesn't feel good for you, just come out of the pose and have the soles of your feet to the floor. Slowly, if the arms are up and overhead, bring them down by your sides, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor, pressing into your feet, lifting those hips up, just sliding that block out from underneath you, coming down vertebrae by vertebrae, hips landing on the floor, and just give your knees a nice big hug. Give it a little rock side to side, massaging your spine. Nice little counter pose here. Having lots of fun. Nice little chilled, relax. Nice little reset. Few more breaths. Massaging your spine. And come into stillness. Feet to the floor. Gonna roll onto our belly. Maybe using a block and a blanket for this as well. Up to you. Let's move the mic into our Sphinx pose. I'm gonna move. Okay, so Sphinx pose, hands parallel to each other. If you've got any pinching sensations in your lower back, feel free to widen those legs so we're creating space across our lower back body. And also feel free to use your block. So maybe you want to start with your head resting here, especially if it's a bit too much for you. Or maybe you want to work your way up. Rest your block here. Or maybe you don't want to use a block at all. Up to you. Wherever you are, just starting to wherever feels good. So we start at the bottom and then we rise up. We don't start at our highest because that's how we hurt ourselves. We start at the bottom, rise to this top. So we have our foundation first. Lovely. Softening your glutes. Forearms to the floor. And again, feel free to close your eyes. Finding stillness in the pose, finding stillness in your mind. Few more breaths. And if you're resting your head on a block, slowly lift your head up, moving the block to the sides, and just bringing your head down, stacking the hands on top, just swaying those hips side to side. Come into stillness, releasing the hands underneath the shoulder, pushing yourself up to a nice tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, flat back, gazing between our hands. And then tucking your toes, let's just do some cat-cows here. Maybe feel free to hold it in cat for a little while. One more cat-cow. And coming back to center, lovely. Reapplying your mic. Okay. Coming onto our bottoms. Right leg in front of us, left leg beside us. Feeling the calf muscle away. And just relaxing here. If you feel a little bit wonky or your hips don't feel too good, you can always sit on a folded up blanket, or you can sit on a pillow or a block, up to you. So we're keeping our hips nice and square. You can have your feet further away from you, or you can have them close to you. Wherever you are, deep breath in. Exhale, hands coming down, relaxing your head. Feel free to maybe come onto your forearms, or maybe arms out nice and long and forehead to the floor. Up to you. Melting your heart towards the earth, finding softness in your hips, finding softness in your knees, your ankles, your neck. Sending the direction of your inhales to the back of your lungs. A few more breaths. And pressing into your hands, slowly lifting yourself all the way back up. Head comes up last, hands come behind you. Soles of the feet to the floor. If you're sitting on a blanket or a block, removing the blanket or block, Just windshield wipe those legs side to side, releasing your hips. Maybe gazing up to the sky if you like. Just doing whatever counter pose feels good. You don't have to completely copy me. Maybe your body is telling you, no, this counter pose doesn't feel right for me. I'm going to do something else. If that's the case, do something else. And if we are windshield wiping our legs, one more time, side to side. Lovely. And the next time our legs are over to the left, other side. Bringing your left leg in front of you, right leg beside you, peeling the right calf muscle away. It can be legs nice and close or legs further apart. Up to you. Again, if you're feeling a bit unbalanced, if you feel like there's a bit of pain going on, you can always sit one cheek under a glute. Doesn't sound very amazing, but there you go. Wherever you are, hands to the floor, lifting up nice and tall, deep breath in. Exhale, release, let go. Hands to the floor, relaxing your head down, and maybe again, we come onto our forearms, or maybe arms come out nice and long. You can't see my hands on screen. And maybe the forehead comes to the floor. Up to you. Melting your heart towards the earth. Any thoughts of the outside world pop into your mind. Just observe those thoughts and let them pass on by like a cloud in the wind without any judgment. Finding softness in your body. Finding softness in the knees. Not forcing our bodies to do anything it doesn't want to do. Again, thinking Goldilocks stretch. Not too little, not too much, just feeling that activation. Pressing into your hands, walking your hands all the way back. Taking your time, head comes up last. You're sitting on something, remove it from underneath you. Hands behind us, soles of the feet to the floor. And we're just going to windshield wipe those legs side to side. One more time each side. And once you've finished sweeping those legs round, coming into our child's pose. Big toes together, knees mat distance apart, arms out nice and long, forehead down into an extended child's pose. Or maybe knees together, sweeping your arms by your sides. Maybe you'd like to rest your forehead on a block. If you don't have a block, you can always stack your hands. Unclenching your jaw. Few more breaths. And palms of the hands to the floor, pushing into your hands, slowly sitting ourselves all the way up. Head comes up last. If you're resting your head on a block, feel free to move it to the side. And let's just come into some cat-cows again. Maybe tucking your toes. Inhale, dropping the belly, chest up, chin up, tailbone up, looking up. Exhale, chin to chest, curl the spine, push the mat away from you. Maybe keeping it going. One more round. Once you've finished, meeting back in our natural spine, crossing your ankles, coming onto your bottoms, into our caterpillar pose, or our forward fold, or our Paschimottanasana. Again, feel free to prop yourself up onto a blanket. Maybe you'd like to use some blocks. Legs out nice and long, wherever you are. You can rest your hands on your blocks if you like, or maybe resting your blocks underneath your knees. Maybe bringing the soles of the feet to the floor and giving yourself a nice little hug. Whatever you want to do today, it's absolutely perfect. Whatever your body needs. I think instead of sitting on a blanket, I'm going to put my blanket across my blocks. Bit of improv. Wherever you are, lifting yourself up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bringing it down. Unclenching that jaw. Sending the direction of your inhales to the back of your lungs. Not judging our bodies, just observing our bodies. Doesn't matter where your hands land on our legs. Few more breaths. Lovely. Press into your hands, walking your hands all the way back. Head comes up last. If you're like me and you have blocks underneath you, removing the blocks, Removing the blankets. Ready for our final position, Shavasana. So if you've got a blanket, feel free to put your blanket on top of you. Keep yourself nice and warm. Or maybe resting your head on a pillow, head on a blanket, other way around. Wherever you are. Coming into your Shavasana. If you have any lower back problems, it might feel better for you to have the soles of your feet to the floor. Maybe it feels good to have your hands resting on your belly or in your heart, so one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. Blinking the eyes open if they're not already there yet. Maybe taking a big stretch or give yourself a hug. Coming back into the room. And when you're ready, rolling onto your favourite side, using your top arm to push you all the way up to a nice easy seat position. Head comes up last. Don't want to feel dizzy. After that, especially after a yin yoga session or a restorative yoga, you can feel a bit like, whoa, where am I? Hands to prayer in front of heart center. Pressing our hands together. Feel free to join me in an Om. If not, you can listen and feel the vibrations in the room, or you can say it to yourself in your mind. Deep breath in for the Om. And Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give yourself a clap. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day with all your chakras nice and reset. I shall see you next week. Bye.